Hello and welcome to another fun-filled night of World of Warships Legends. I am Phoenix 6-1. 6 spelled out, 1 not so much. Just a number. You can see it down in the bottom left. Anyway, we are playing the British aircraft carrier, the Implacable. And I have a lot of fun with these, with this aircraft carrier. With the British carriers in general. Like, you get these cool, like, low-flying planes. It feels like you're going faster. Maybe it's just because you're lower. But the bombing, the bombers are like, they have like a carpet bomb that they drop, right? So it is hella easier to get hits with the bombs. But your planes can go down pretty quick too. So there's always a give and take with this game. There's always a drawback to the perk, right? We will dump fighters here just to help keep things spotted in this area. Not necessarily going after their planes, since I see them over at sea, but sometimes I like to drop them just to help keep things spotted for my team. Right, and I think that the carrier is probably the most, relied upon when it comes to like a support role, right? Like being able to spot ships very quickly, it can make a huge difference, especially when it comes to spotting destroyers, right? So we're gonna spot one here. I do hear, some people like to say like, oh, if you're the carrier, if you're the airplanes, your one job is to go after destroyers, and I think that's BS. I do agree there's some importance there, but like in those like niche situations, like yes, go after it, or keep it spotted so that your team can do damage on it too. But if you want to get like XP and do damage and have like and earn credits in the game, you gotta get hits, and destroyers are hella hard to hit. Even with carpet bombs, even with more likely a chance to hit with these airplanes, right? So it's always like circumstantial, right? Like I can definitely agree, but I feel like the people that say when you're the carrier, your job is to spot all the destroyers for everybody else and go after them. I feel like those are the people that never play as the carriers because they just want you to do a job for them that they don't want to do, right? Just go after destroyers. Nobody likes going after destroyers, you guys. Nobody likes doing it. They're tough, but they're not. When you get them spotted, they can die. So I do like the torpedo bombers here too. So they have this, they kind of angle towards each other. So it actually is a little bit easier to hit ships that are head on. And so you'll, a lot of times, ships see airplane torpedo bombers coming towards them, and they will turn towards you to kind of increase their chances of being able to dodge your torpedoes, right? But now with these guys, like it almost helps, and it's almost easier because then they'll stay lined up for you, right? So we'll move a little bit to the right just because we see him turning in that direction. Hopefully we can do a little bit more there too. Another thing too that you don't see me doing in this game is pre-dropping, and what that is a lot of times players like to their first set of they'll basically just drop a set of bombs right now, like right in the water. And that can be beneficial too. I don't know if it's as big of a deal with this carrier, with the Implacable. I can't pronounce it correctly, so I'm just making it worse each time. But basically what it does is it helps, it increases like the amount of planes that survive and make it back to the carrier. And then that way you have more to launch later. So it's kind of a long game strategy, right? But we do pretty good without doing that in this ship, but it is something to consider, especially with some of the other countries too, right? So we were originally going to line up the battleship, but then he died. So we took our shot at the destroyer and missed. So yeah, because we were expecting a slower moving battleship. But we're keeping him spotted, so this is giving our team a chance to kind of pick on him. And by our team, I mean this one last cruiser who is getting picked on here. So things are just not looking that great for us at this point in the game. So we will do our best to turn them around. Another thing too I'm doing is a lot of times if I have like 1 or 2 planes left after I've dropped a set of bombs or torpedoes, I'll just if I'm over top of enemy ships, a lot of times I'll just go back to the carrier and give those guys a chance to bug out and fly back home. Because most likely I'm going to lose one or two of them as I'm trying to realign back up anyway. And so if it's the end of the, if I'm at the end of my planes for that run, then I've got nothing and I've spent that time, right? So that's another key aspect to being the carrier, is a time aspect. A lot of people like to hit full reverse in the carrier and just, sit in the back of the map and then launch planes. But then that's that much longer that it takes your planes each time, right? So, alright, let's see if we can line up this cruiser. They're like, and even cruisers can be tough to hit too. Some of these guys, depending on who they are, they move pretty quick, right? But we get 2 hits there in a flood. That's going to make a big difference in finishing him off. If it's not us, it will be either the battleship or cruiser that are kind of fighting in this area. But we have like so much anti-air fire. Like, I can't believe both of my planes here survived. And we're gonna get we get 2 hits there too. I did not have high hopes for those. I usually I don't aim far enough ahead. Like, I don't give enough lead time with torpedoes and torpedo bombers. So that worked out for us. We just barely clipped the back of him, but still, that's a hit is a hit. And actually, sometimes you're more likely to get flood damage too, because there's occasionally like less armor towards the front and backs of the ships, right? But so, did that cruiser die that was out here? Okay, I think somebody finished off the other cruiser. There's still 2 out here and a destroyer, which are just like, it's been brutal for us. Like, we've lost a lot of planes, but like we're still like, we're still competing, right? We got 28,000 damage. We just missed a bunch of bombs there. I am using the consumable, so the one with the like little shield on it, basically, you're less likely to get hit by anti-air fire. So that's helping me out quite a bit in these couple of circumstances where we've been flying over these ships with all these anti-air shooting at us, all these guns shooting at us. So we've been losing planes quick, but like I said, like we still have enough to be formidable. Back at the carrier. Like I said, sometimes it's a good idea to do a pre-drop, and that way you don't lose so many planes to anti-air fire, and then you've got full squads ready for you back at the carrier when you're ready to launch some more, right? So we get up to 33,000 damage. There are 2 cruisers here, so we just kind of have to pick and choose who wants our bombs, right? And for the most part, most of the time, I'm pushing forward on the stick and using the like kind of speed boost that you get. It is like smart to save a little bit of that for while you're over top of ships, and to get turned around while you're under fire, right? So it's like, so I'm using it here as much as I can to try and get bombs off in time, right? So there's a balance between like using some, between like time to target to get to your targets, and then conserving some for while you're getting shot at, right? So like while you've got to make these loops around to do additional runs at ships, you want that extra speed to make it happen faster, so your planes don't die as quick. So basically, while you're under anti-aircraft fire, I try and use those too. So you always kind of balance usage with the consumable, like the cooldown consumable that makes you able to go faster. So I'm using the autopilot on the carrier to move my ship away from this guy in case they do happen to come towards me, but I am also assuming that these last 2 cruisers aren't going to survive very long, so that will make me moving my carrier off to the right where the rest of the enemy is. Kind of gives me, like my time to target, right? So like being able to get to those other guys quicker. So this is what I was saying. Like I feel like that shot was like way, yeah. He's gonna dodge those way short, yeah. And that's how it's done, right? That's how you miss. But our ship should be able to finish them off. Like I'm like Do I head towards him or do I? Yeah, okay, there we go. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Nice work.
So yeah, I started heading over this way, but it's like the game's over at this point. But we will we will autopilot the ship. So if you don't know, you can go into the map and hold X on any of the squares in the map, and your carrier will automatically go there. So that's kind of one of the things. Like, yeah, I see a lot of people either leave it right where, right where it starts, right where it spawns. And I've killed, I don't know, I've killed like dozens of, I feel like I've killed dozens of carriers. It's probably not that many. But yeah, somebody else finished them off. But that we're just sitting because they were, people refuse to move them. I'm like, at minimum, I mean, be the guy that pushes reverse and you sit in the back of the map, right? But like, you can autopilot. You can tell your ship to go wherever you want and keep him just out of spotting range, yet close enough to attack. So I ended up with the worst XP on my team, and we were in a division, and we had somebody with a skein, which is a good anti-air ship. I have another video using that destroyer. But make sure to subscribe to the channel, guys. I play pretty much every ship that I have. I play all, cruisers, destroyers, battleships, and carriers. So stay tuned. More to come. Thanks for watching.